Hey, welcome back to the Raider. Today, working on some more interior stuff. So, oh, that's falling off. But you saw in the last video, I had this apart because when you turn this on, so we're having issues with the horn. Needless to say. So on the bottom side of the steering wheel, you have 1, 2, and where is it? 3. 3 screws you pull off. This whole thing just kind of comes off here. Then you have one little lead. Pull it off. And boom, you have the horn off. Let's go take it to the bench. Okay, here we are at the bench. And it looks like, this makes contact and this makes contact. So we'll pull this cover off and see what we got. Kind of just peels back. Okay. Looks like this makes contact with 2 different metals in there. Okay. Got a pick. Let's kind of wedge these through. Okay. So this looks like it completes the circuit here and here. And the foam on this is absolutely squashed after, I don't know, like 30 years? 35 years? So we're going to try to clean this up and replace the foam. The foam is just kind of peeling away. Try to be gentle with this so I can reproduce it. Nice and gentle. Ooh. Tearing in a couple little places, to be expected. Something this old. Alright, just like that we had the foam off. Now I'm going to grab the steel wool and try to clean this and this surface up as well, and then get some foam to reproduce this. And it's got a bunch of dimples where this was making contact, I think, over the years. So we're probably going to gently tap on it, see if we can flatten it out, or maybe we don't want to, I don't know. Maybe that's the whole point, is to have it dimpled so it doesn't make contact so easily. spot's hard to get to here. Get the wire brush out. Pretty sad looking one, but it'll work. That worked pretty well. This is a main contact, so I'm just going to do a quick cleanup on this. Any loose stuff off there. And I'll give this guy a quick cleanup too. This is much more sturdy. Much easier to clean up. Okay. So this foam goes in between. I'm going to try to cut a new piece of foam. Got some stuff from Your Auto Trim. They only sold it in big pieces, so I have a massive amount. I don't know, maybe I'll cut a few and sell them. That is if it works. So, the stuff I got is actually meant to be headliner foam. And they had it where it's not attached to any fabric, so I figured I'll give it a try. It looks pretty thin, uncompressed. It looks like 3/16, somewhere between 3/16 and 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to try it out. So my work area is an absolute mess. Probably be easier with scissors. Not the right tool for the job. Right. I'm going to go back to this for this step. It might be the most exact way. Probably the reason why this knife is dull. Just cutting over here on the stainless workbench.
What we have here are hollow punches. Got these at Harbor Freight. I usually use these to make gaskets when they're not available. And you just kind of line it up and hammer it. And it cuts out for whatever diameter you want. This looks pretty close. Maybe I'll go one more up. Yep, that's the one I'll use. And then for this massive hole, I will cut this guy. And get a piece of wood so I don't destroy the workbench. Found myself a piece of wood, and for these 1, 2, and 3, they don't have to be massive, so I'm just going to make a quick slit right there. Just enough for the tangs to go through. And then for all these other holes, we have our big boy hammer here. Place it on. Did it cut through? Maybe not. Like I said, I got these at Harbor Freight, so take it with a grain of salt. Just gonna go through and do them all. And for the large hole, this guy. I'm pretty sure everything punched through. Might have to use the X-Acto for cleaning up and getting it out of there. Some of them look like they cut better than others. Some of them look like they didn't cut at all. It's all pretty experimental for me as well.
best cutting surface. I'm trying to hammer on some of these more. Just peeling them all out. I guess I could separate this. I'll hold on to this in case it doesn't work and I have to try again with a different kind of foam. Okay. Let's figure out which way this goes. That looks pretty good. And this looks like it's flexible, a little bit more pressure in center from the outside. I don't know. Hopefully I didn't mess anything up fiddling with it because it's kind of janky. Speaking of janky, I'll probably mess with it a little bit more. And pushing it through, these 3 tangs come through again. I'm going to use my pick to push out those little, kind of hard to see them, but keep it from coming back through. It gives it a little bit of spring at least, this new foam. Kind of a new lease on life. And before I get back in there and put it all back together, break out yet one more tool, the old fluke meter. And we will check for continuity. Because if the circuit is complete, that means they're touching and it didn't work. If the circuit is open,
that means that we did something right. We're showing, I don't know if you can see this, 0.2. Should have that condition overload, so we're still touching somewhere. Let's look around. It's really low right in here. So I'm going to pry it up. Hopefully not distort it too much. Try again. Actually, yeah, we're using the wrong one. We're going from here to here. Okay, so that's the right one. Overload. Now, because this is technically the same as that, that pin is, that lead is pinned to that whole circuit. So, yeah, we do have an overload condition, meaning that the circuit is not complete. It's good. Alright, let's put this thing back together. Kind of a pain, just like pulling it off was. I'm not sure if there was any adhesive on this from the factory, but we're not going to put any in there. We're not going to put any in there just in case I gotta fiddle with this at another time. Alright, making progress. Kind of tedious, but it's working. Just peel it back and get it over there. And that's the last of it. Okay. So it's all back on there. One last thing I do before I put it on, I'm going to clean this out, scrape it off, and try to get that little badge back in there so it looks nice and clean. Here's that little badge. I'm going to scrape the rest off in the back. I love these little things. It just screams 80s. That's why I try to put this kind of stuff back in when I can. Rubbing alcohol. Try to clean all the adhesive off, because I'd love this thing to stick and stay and not have to touch it a while or ever. Clean off the front a little bit. Okay. Let's see what kind of adhesive I have laying around. I have some of this left over from a previous job. It's just rubber cement. I'm going to give it a try with this. Just give it a little bit. Hopefully not make a mess either. Okay. It is in there. We'll let that set for, what does it say? Allow 24 hours to fully cure. So I'll give it a little bit of time and then I'll put everything back together. That's not moving. So one more test with the multimeter. Let's make sure that it completes the circuit when we push on it. Touch here. And here once again. Turn this on. Check resistance one more time. And I'm going to push. Alright, see that change? It means it's making contact, and then I let off. Back to overload, which means open. Completed circuit. And off. Okay, that's great. Let's get this thing back in the car. So we have this wire, which connects to this tang, and then this guy right here, the spring-loaded one, is going to contact here. So when all that makes, when it completes the circuit, the horn sounds. So we're going to put this thing back together. Connecting this first and foremost. Let's see if I can get you guys a good deal. Let's see if that'll hold. Slip that on there. Push this into place. And these 3 screws are going to go in through the back. It's always easier when no one's watching. I'm not going to tighten any of them down until we get all 3 of them started. That's how I get myself into trouble. A little stubby. Let's see what we can do here. Got it started. Get the last one in here on the other side. Now they're all started, we'll tighten them all up. That'll help. There's one. we turn the key on and the horn doesn't blare on us, so at least we're making progress. Tighten the last one. Seems like the bottom position is easiest to get that screwdriver in there. Well, some of this plastic is a little old and it's just doesn't quite seat like it did from the factory. But in my opinion, it's good enough. Ta-da! It works. Until next time, do something new.